Hi guys, my name is Naresh Mehra, and this is my first video of this channel, and this is on IELTS Task 1. As I have seen a lot of students are wandering here and there on different institutions and paying a lot of fees over there, but they're not getting valuable information from there, and because of that, they are continuously wasting the time for a few months, and after that, they got to know that it's all about self-study. So yes, it's all about self-study. So I made this YouTube channel just to help you guys to get more information on different four modules of the IELTS. Here I bring a video on pie charts, and one more thing for your convenience, I'll use both the Hindi and English languages just to make it more convenient for you guys, because many of you are already from the Hindi background. So this video gonna be beneficial for both of you guys who are from English as well as Hindi background. So in the pie chart, like there are different kind of pie charts and line graphs, bar graphs, tables are given in the task one. Today I'm gonna make a presentation on the pie charts. We have been given a two pie chart over here. We can see the question. In the question we have been given that the pie charts below given show the most common advantages and disadvantages of the Bound Island according to a survey of visitors. Like एक विजिटर के सर्वे से ये पता लगा है कि जो पाउन आइसलैंड है वहाँ पे जो उन्होंने सर्वे किया है उसमें कुछ लोगों ने एडवांटेजेस बताई हैं, कुछ लोगों ने डिसएडवांटेजेस बताई हैं कि कौन सी एडवांटेजेस को उन्होंने कितना परसेंट बताया है कि वो उनको अफेक्ट करती है, कितने परसेंट डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं. सो इनका प्रोपोर्शन डिफरेंट प्रोपोर्शन बताया गया है. अगर disadvantages की बात करूँ, there are four kind of disadvantages are being given over here. The first one is weather, the second one is high cost of living, entertainment and food quality. On the other hand, we have been given the common advantages that are the people, scenery, good accommodation and culture. So if I go to the pie chart 1, 15% लोगों ने बोला that weather is the most common problem over here on the Bound Island. 10% लोगों ने बोला food quality is the common disadvantages, but disadvantage. But 25% people ने बोला entertainment is not good. So 25% people are not satisfied with the entertainment kind of things. And सबसे ज़्यादा जो हुई है almost half of the pie chart, that is 50%, that goes to high cost of living. इसका मतलब है कि high cost of living 50% लोगों ने commonly यूज किया है, कि 50% लोगों ने ऐसा बोला कि high cost of living is the most common problem. This is the basic problem over here because it is accounted for most of the proportion, that is 50%. So 50% लोगों ने बोला high cost of living is the most common problem. On the other hand, they are being given advantages that are the people, the scenery, good accommodation and culture. Okay, so 12% people have said that the culture is the good, and 11% people said the good accommodation over here, and 35% people said the sand is beautiful. The scenery is very beautiful, that's why they are attracting towards the Bound Island, and the rest goes to the culture, that's only 12%, and good accommodation is for 11%. Okay, so if we go to the question, we have been given that to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features. Just remember the main feature we have to prescribe, we have to talk about, and make the comparison where relevant. जहाँ पे जरूरी है वहाँ पे comparison करना है. It's all about the comparison. If you are making a good comparison, you'll get a good band score in IELTS. Okay, so by not wasting more time, let's start with the introduction. Here I have used as per the survey of tourists and travelers. Like you can use either tourists and travelers, because in the question we have been given the visitors. So tourist, travelers are the synonym of the visitor. So you can use the paraphrasing in the introduction part. That's what you have to do. And they have used according to the survey. So I use as per the survey. As per the survey of tourists and travelers, the following pie charts show the proportion. I use the proportion for the percentage. show the proportion of 5 various advantages and disadvantages of bound island. There are some mistakes, like just the basic mistakes, just ignore them because this is my first time I make a video on that. So pardon me for that. And on the body paragraph 1, I use in terms of percentage of various disadvantages. अगर मैं different disadvantages की बात करूँ तो the difference between weather and food quality is negligible. It's just the 5%, so it's negligible. It can be ignored. It's the minimal. You can use minimal, very less, and negligible, either one of them, because it's just the 5%. Any of the figures below 7, 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever it is, you can use as a minimal change or negligible change in that. Okay. So furthermore, the percentage of the entertainment accounted for 1/4. It is 25%. If you go to the entertainment part in the disadvantages, it is 25%. So it's like 1/4. It's a quarter. So quarter is always the 1/4 of the pie chart. So you can use the percentage of the entertainment accounted for 1/4, whereas always try to use the linkers because excuse me, because if you are using the linkers, it gives a contrast that you're making comparison. That's what is being asked in the question. Okay, so high cost, whereas high cost of the living is sharp 50%. That is covering the 50% of the pie chart. So it is sharp 50%, but because it's exactly 50%, so I use the sharp 50%, which is covering exactly the half portion of the pie chart. Here we can see that the high cost of living is 50%. I use the cost of living is sharp 50%, which is covering exactly the half portion of the pie chart. Okay, so one pie chart is done. We are going for the second pie chart. It's for advantages. We have been given different kind of 4 different kind of advantages, and we have to make comparison in that. Excuse me. Okay, so I just to gear up, I use the moving further is a beautiful thing you can do, like moving further or furthermore or um, moving ahead. You can use any of them. As far as the percentage of advantages are concerned, अगर मैं advantages की बात करूँ तो 35% of the travelers, like the wanderers, travelers, you can use either of them because you have to keep changing the variations. You have to keep changing the words because in the introduction you have used tourists. You can use travelers over here. So 35% of the travelers said the scenery is the most common advantage that attracts them, while the percentage of the people as an advantage accounted for 42%. 35% of the travelers said the scenery is beautiful, that's why they attracted towards the bound island. That's why I mentioned over here 35% of the travelers said the scenery is the most common advantage that attracts them, while I use the linker, while the percentum of it gives a separation, separation in the sentences just to make the examiner more understand about the process, about the things what I want to explain to them, while the percentum of the people as an advantage accounted for 42%. Now we could go to the pie chart. The 42% people said the people over there are the good, that's why they treat them as advantage. तो एडवांटेज हमारी क्या होगी, 42% पीपल ने कहा है कि जो वहाँ के लोग हैं वो एक एडवांटेज है, दैट्स वाई बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं वो, दैट्स वाई दे always try to go over there just to enjoy with them. So 42% people give preference to the people who are living in the Bowen Island. Okay, so हमारे पास बचा गया है good accommodation. That's the last one we are left with. So good accommodation, oh no, we are also left for the culture. Good accommodation and culture hold almost the same proportion. So it's like one is 11% and second one is 12%. If I go to the pie chart second, is the culture accounted for 12% and the good accommodation accounted for 11%. So 12% जो बंदे हैं उन्होंने बोला है कि culture is the good advantage over there. That's why they are happy with that. And on the other side, the good accommodation is also one of the advantages. So they're almost same. Whenever you have like one or two different two percent of difference between the figures, like one is 12, the other one is 14 or 15, it's just about 3 or 2%. So you can say that it's almost same. There's no much more difference between them. The figures are almost same. So you can use every time, you can use the figures are approximately same. I use the approximately, lagbhag same hai. So you can use like approximately, almost, or nearby, near about. You can use either of them. Now the conclusion parts. So in the conclusion, the first and the foremost thing we have to keep in mind is that never ever use numbers in the conclusion, because you have already used the numbers in the BP1 and BP2, because you have already explained the figures over there. So you don't need to worry about explaining them again in the conclusion. In the conclusion, you have to show the most common thing, the most noticeable thing, जो भी आपको लग रहा है कि ये बहुत कॉमन सी चीज हुई है टास्क में, सो ये हमें मेंशन करनी है. लाइक in the BP2, if you go to the last second line, it is being said that the good accommodation and culture hold account for hold for almost the same proportion, 12%. So एक common चीज है. So same almost same proportion है. Okay. So to conclude that, to conclude, the first most common disadvantage in high school of living, and the second, like the first common advantage क्या, high cost of living, that's why we give that the first grade. And the second common problem noticed is the entertainment, because सबसे ज़्यादा जो problem थी, सबसे ज़्यादा जो grade दिया गया, जो proportion दिया गया था, वो high cost को दिया गया था. So it was 50%. So that why that was the first common problem. And the second common problem noticed is entertainment, that was being given the second most percentage. Okay, so it is near about 25%, I guess. Yeah, like entertainment is being given 25%, so it is the second most common problem. अब क्या हो गया कि हमारे पास disadvantage का part done हो चुका है. So we have to tell about the advantage part on the other side, like, because advantage is the opposite of the disadvantage. So on the other side, in advantages, the people and the scenery are the favorable factors that are the most likable by the wanderers. I have used the visitors, the travelers, and the tourists. So this is the time to use the wanderers, because it is the synonym of the traveler, because I have already used the traveler, visitors, and tourists, because they are the synonym. But it's time to do some variation, so that's why I use the wanderer over here. Okay, because the scenery, or the people, there are two advantages, they're being given most of the percentage. That's why I use people and scenery are the favorable factors. Okay, so I have never used numbers over here, because there's no need to put that, because I have already mentioned in the BP1 and BP2. So it's just about the conclusion. You have to give an idea about what have you wrote in the task on, I mean in the BP1 and BP2. Okay, there are some points to be remembered. There are some tricks you can use. Mm, if past years are given, like before 2021, task will always go in the past. If any year is given before 2021, it is the past for us. We will use the past tense. On the other side, if the the task is given in the present year, like in 2021, we will use the present tense for that. And if we are being given no year in the task, just the figures, no year, still the task will goes in the present tense. Okay, but if the projections, the estimation, or the probability in the future is given, we have to write the task in the future tense, because we are talking about the future, we are talking about the projections, the figures will rise up and goes up and decline, this and that we will consider about. So it's all about the projection. We have to write the task in the future tense. Okay, moving further, one more thing I would like to say you that if you are using numbers from 1 to 10, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 7, like up to 10, you have to use these numbers in words, like 1 call for ONE, 1 को लिखेंगे ONE, 2 को लिखेंगे TWO, and up to 10 we have to write in the same manner. 10 को लिखेंगे not 10, it should be like TEN 10. But after 11, like 11 up to infinity, if the figures are given, you have to write in the numbers. Okay, this is the beautiful trick you have to use. I've already mentioned over here, you can see and get an idea about that. Okay, moving further, there are some synonyms I have used for percentage. You can use like percent and proportion. For visitors, as I earlier told you, travelers, visitors, wanderers, tourists. For people, you can use individuals, persons, dwellers. Don't use human being because it is a part of informal writing. So never ever try to use the human beings as a synonym of people. Okay, so how we use percentage, some tricks have been given over here. That are some tricks that I have used. In pie charts, 25% is given in pie chart, so you can use the quarter share of the sale or quarter share or whatever is given is goes to that, accounted for that. And you can also use 1/4 if 25% is given. Moving further, for 25% you can use the simple line, the simple sentence. 25% proportion of, oh sorry, 25% portion of the pie chart is covered by the attribute, whatever it is. 50% is the exactly half share of the portion of the pie chart. So if I say that the sale of the cloth rise by 50% in year 2010, I can say that in year 2010, the sale of the cloth or whatever, the sale of the cloth is increase or rise by 50%, sharply 50%, you can say. Okay, and 1/2 share is covered by that. You can also use this line instead of 50%. Like 50% is the half of the 100, so you can use 1/2 share is covered by this and that. And 50% of the pie chart accounted for, you can use this line as well. But if you've been given like 10%, you can use 1/10%. 1/10 share of the pie chart is covered by that. If it is given 20%, you can use 1/2. 30%, 1/3, 40%, 1/4, up to 90. You can use 1/9 part of the share of the pie chart goes to that, or 1/9 share or 1/9 portion of the pie chart goes to that. And this is the video, and I tried to explain as much as I can, but I know there are so many mistakes I have done, but try to pardon me for that. This is the channel just to give an idea about how we can use formal writing and how we can get the good band score. If you like the video, please share and like, and also subscribe my channel for upcoming video.